All right, let's get it. I'm Nick Roloff of Chat Sports. You're watching NBA Now, and we have a lot to get to as we are a week away from the February 8th NBA trade deadline in 2024, and we have a lot of news and rumors to hit on. We're going to start with the latest surrounding the Golden State Warriors. Are the Houston Rockets star hunting at the deadline to try to improve their roster? And are the Los Angeles Lakers in trouble of missing the playoffs? Stay tuned for that. But before we get into the latest news and rumors, I want to make sure you all are subscribed and you have your notifications turned on. Why? Well, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of news that is going to happen in the next week. And we're actually filming this segment live on NBA Now at Chat Sports. You might have known that if you had that notification setting on. So hit that noti bell and be alerted when we drop a video surrounding the latest NBA trade news and rumors, or we go live, because you can bet your bottom dollar we'll be live next Thursday on the NBA trade deadline. All right, let's jump into the latest surrounding the Dubs, the Golden State Warriors, because they've had quite the intriguing season thus far where they have underachieved a lot of expectations. Aging big three of Klay, Curry, and Dre. Wiggins has been struggling. Let's check in on those Dubs. Brian Windhorst, the legend himself, said the Warriors have no interest in moving Draymond Green or Klay Thompson before the NBA trade deadline. Two legends, two really close friends with Steph Curry, obviously. So it would be quite the shock if they moved on from those two. But make no mistake, they are not the same players they used to be. And you could just tell by their statistics. Klay is kind of becoming a cooked product a little bit. It's a little bit sad to see, but he's just not putting up the same numbers as he once was. He's more of a volume scorer now rather than the efficient marksman from beyond the arc. Let's not act like 38.5% is bad. Not saying that for Klay. The problem with it is that he's not providing you anything else outside of those catch-and-shoot threes. It just comes with the territory of having major Achilles, ACL injuries in 2 of the last 5 seasons, right? Dre's never been the most effective guy on the offensive end. That's not how he makes his money. But he is a good defender still, and he is someone who's still going to bring that fiery edge. But these two are declining. And you could just tell that the Warriors are kind of stuck in this no man's land right now when it comes to their team building. They still want to contend. They still want to get Steph Curry a chance to make the NBA Finals, win the NBA championship. But they're also in between where they have to start thinking for the future. Guys like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, who they drafted in the first round this past year. Like, those 3 guys can contribute, can be maybe building blocks of the future. But then you also got these veterans making a boatload of money like Chris Paul, like Andrew Wiggins, who, if you had to ask me, are more likely to be traded than the 2 that you just saw on screen, referring to Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. They have huge cap hits, which are making them negative assets, and it's kind of an issue because who is going to trade for those guys and be able to give you someone that can help your team now? Like Wiggins is an interesting story because, well, he's making $24 million, and when he's just started this extension that is going on for the next 3 to 4 seasons. So it's like, this is not like an expiring contract that Wiggins has. You trade for Wiggins, you got him for 4 years at $24 million. And if he doesn't turn around his career because of how bad he's been playing this season, well, no one wants that. So there's really not a lot of upgrades Golden State can go out and make with Chris Paul, with Andrew Wiggins, which is leaving them in a very precarious position. They've won 4 titles, though. But is that all they will get? Is the Warriors dynasty over? If you think it is, type Y for yes, type N for no. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Warriors dynasty down in the comment section. Before we transition to the Houston Rockets, H-Town hold it down. Shout out Will Scott. Check out Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports platform in North America. You can get a $100 first deposit match at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Just take more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. You could win up to 25 times your money. I'm looking ahead to Super Bowl 57. 57? Yeah, nailed it. Mahomes, more than a half of passing yards. You're getting a freebie there from Prize Picks. I'm also taking the more than on rushing touchdowns from Isaiah Pacheco. Less than on Deebo Samuel's receiving yards, more than on Christian McCaffrey's receiving yards. It's a ridiculous number, but I'm taking the more than on CMC. You can take my picks, you can fade my picks, but go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get a first deposit match up to $100. That link will be in the description. It will be in the comments of today's video. Take advantage of that fantastic deal Prize Picks is offering. All right, let's head to Houston because they've surprised quite a bit of people, including myself. I didn't think Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and others being added to that rotation of Jabari Smith, Şengün, Jalen Green, and the rookie Thompson would bode well. But their rebuild is going a lot faster than people expected, and apparently they are on the buyer's market. You mentioned that core I just talked about. I didn't even bring up the talented rookie out of Villanova, Cam Whitmore, who I had in my top 10 of my big board, by the way. Just want that on the record. I had him in my top 10. He fell all the way down to 20. Ooh, that was a shocker for me, and I know there's some teams out there like the Los Angeles Lakers, who we'll get to in just a bit, that are not happy that they passed on Whitmore for Jalen Hood-Schifino, but they got 6 guys that can really make things happen. And Shams Charania, the NBA insider, said the Rockets are looking to find another center and a two-way ball handler. Well, there's some guys out there, but the question is, where do they want to go, right? There's quite a good amount of big men to back up Elfrid Şengün. There's also some guys out there. We got our guy Jeremy Chuggs in office saying that there's a potential they go and try to get Mikal Bridges. Yeah, right. But before we show the center list, just make sure you fix his photo here. We got Kelly O, Clint Capella, Andre Drummond, and Robert Williams III. Some centers that could back up Şengün to help them be better defensively in the postseason. Listen, Şengün's a great player. He plays very similar to Nikola Jokic, if we're going to be honest. The way he can facilitate, play make. Him, Sabonis, and Jokic are probably 3 of the best passing bigs in the entire NBA. But using someone to back him up as a primary defender and rim protector might bode well for H-Town and Ime Udoka. But when it comes to that ball handler that is on a two-way level, could it be Malcolm Brogdon, the guard from Portland who was sent over in that Jrue Holiday deal from Boston, won 6th Man of the Year just one season ago, had a rough postseason stretch against Miami, but he had that elbow/forearm injury, and Brogdon has had quite the season in Portland so far. 15.8 points per game, 5.5 assists, but the thing that he brings to the table is two-way ability. He can handle the rock. He can also defend at a good clip. And the piece I like about Brogdon is that he's very, very good at fitting next to anyone. He could play the two. He could play off ball. He can be the main ball handler as well in starting the offense. You look at their guards of Fred VanVleet and Thompson. If those two are the ones, you could put Brogdon next to him. Take a little off their shoulders handling the rock, but be a little bit of the defensive guy in that backcourt. Brogdon fits a lot of teams. Could he be going to H-Town? Let me know what your thoughts are on the Houston Rockets. Are they going to get to the playoffs in the first year of the Ime Udoka era? Type P if you think they will. Type L if they are going to be missing the playoffs and picking in the lottery. One more reminder, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are your one-stop shop for all things leading up to the NBA trade deadline. It's a week away. Don't miss any news or rumors surrounding the NBA trade deadline. We are also going to be live on trade deadline day, so make sure you join us on that very, very hectic day. Let's go out to Hollywood and check on the LA Lakers because they might be in trouble, folks. They are not looking good. And they do want to make some upgrades like they did last year's NBA trade deadline where they got Jared Vanderbilt, they got D'Angelo Russell, they got Rui Hachimura to help fortify that rotation. Are they going to try to do something similar this year? We'll check in with Shams Charania again because Dejounte Murray is the key name surrounding the Lakers, and Shams isn't backing down from that. Dejounte Murray is going to continue to emerge as the top target for the Lakers. From what I'm told, another scenario to keep your eye on, players that the Lakers do have interest in, I'm told, is the 3 guys from the Nets, Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Royce O'Neal. I will say this. We mentioned all the moves the Lakers made last year at the deadline to help them go on a run that ended in the Western Conference Finals. I'm just not so sure that they're going to be able to do that type of thing at the trade deadline again, where they bring in all these rotation guys and help propel them in a deep playoff run. Because they're one game under 500. This offense in this team just hasn't been there. And it's crazy to think that an Anthony Davis, LeBron-led team with the so-called great young player that Austin Reeves is only 24 and 25 and behind teams like Dallas, behind teams like New Orleans. And here's the thing. Like, if they make a boost, right, they even go up, the best that I think they will end in the regular season is probably the 7th seed. Are you taking the Los Angeles Lakers in a first-round playoff series against one of the Timberwolves, Nuggets, Clippers, or Thunder? You can maybe argue the T-Wolves, as producer Coop thinks that's the case, but I'm taking the top 4 teams beating the Lakers in a 7-game series pretty easily, just based off what I've seen from this roster. Taurean Prince, Jaron Vanderbilt, not helping LeBron and AD, but D'Angelo Russell, we'll see what happens with him. Could he be dealt at the deadline? He's been playing good ball in the month of January. The Lakers have significantly struggled this year. No doubt about that. Should Darvin Ham be canned in LA? If you think the Lakers should fire Darvin Ham, type F for fire, type K if they think you should keep him. It is intriguing to see LeBron's coach always being fired. The only one to never be fired, yeah, that main man in the 305, Eric Spoelstra. That will do it for today's episode of NBA Now. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Nick_Roloff, because I'm talking everything NBA over on the Bird app. I don't give a shit. It will always be Twitter, not X. So give me a follow at Nick_Roloff.